Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You can get our studios already heating up before we started the program. But of course, you're welcome to our favorite social media program because my name is Ruth Lawson. It's good to be here. I'm just going to introduce the first two voices you heard, yes, before mine. I'll start with Chief Godi Officer. He's a journalist, a brand analyst, and he's a social commentator. Welcome to the show, sir.
It's nice to be here.
I'm very sure we'll definitely bring the viewers into this one that was saying before the camera or before we started rolling. And I have Chris Asulimi. He's an author, a speaker, a social political analyst. The second voice you heard. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, it's good to have you again today. And we have Mazi Obia. He is a retired banker and a chartered administrator. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. You hear my own voice.
Yeah, your voice. Yes, quiet as the day.
I was just listening.
Yes. So
it's good to listen.
It's good to listen. Sometimes you get to pick, know something. Okay, Chief God, do you want us to continue the discussion on air, or?
Yes. You know, we're talking about the economy and how governance and how Chris says we have to bear the brunt for the country to be okay. And I said, look, the tightening of the belt must be top bottom. It must not be bottom up. So at the end of the day, if those who are making the policies and begging us to take one meal per day are now eating 4, there's no reasonable cause for us to follow that. All right. He talked about the borrow that the government is the previous government was paying about 90% of his income or revenue was 97 was using it to pay debts. And my question was, how much did the previous government borrowed? If that is a campaign, how much did they borrow? For how long? They even use our crude, according to reports, to borrow. All right. So if we continue to give them that excuses, the next person that is coming in 2020 or 2031 will always give that excuse. So at the end of the day, my question was, if they are borrowing, what are they borrowing for? Are they borrowing for the real sector, or are they borrowing to satisfy their insatiable need for luxury, like buying cars for senators and House of Assembly members, a foreign car, Toyota, for matter, not innocent in Nigeria, paying dollar? Is that what you are borrowing for? You are borrowing to buy yachts. You are borrowing to buy a private jet. We have presidents across the world whose country are not doing well, who are using public transport. We have them. They are there. This joke around the world that a Kenyan was making in a conference, and he said, look, they were calling on UAE representatives to show them. You look at the window and say, see our roads. This is where we borrow money to fix our road. When they called Nigerians, the guy was showing his car. He was showing his Aga. We didn't have road. We didn't have. You see, these are the misplaced priority. In a country that wants to be well managed, you don't create Lagos to Calabar expressway when the one that you have already is completely bad. I'm coming, sir. Let me finish. You don't do that. See, those are the ways they are. At the end of the day, the government will finish 8 years and that road will not be completed. And somebody will come in who will start his own all over again. That's where they are borrowing money. They are not borrowing the money for you to use it to this real sector to create jobs, all right? So that government can make money from people who are employed there to taxes. So at the end of the day, if they ask us to tighten our belt, are they tightening theirs? You understand? So nobody should tell me for Nigeria to be good. Godi Ofo said should not eat, should be yes. Well, they
already say that anyway. I wonder where you have that.
What I'm saying is that you said here that the reform is is necessary.
Imperative.
It's the same thing. Imperative, necessary is the same. It depends on the degree. It's necessary. Now, because the reform is necessary, you now put a clause there, the implementation. And I'm looking at you. And you speak from both sides of your mouth. So if the reform is necessary, if the implementation has a glitch, so why did you embark on the policy? On the reform in itself.
Yeah, because if
you know you cannot carry on the reform, why are you doing it?
Okay, let me represent myself on this. So that because it appears that I'm the
before you
attacking you. Let me start from where Chief stopped. You see, when you talk about leadership means living by example. And leadership means service. You said leadership. It means that a person who leads others can't be a leader when you are alone. Now, I read today where I just came from. It said that somebody, the state governor is telling us to endure that this reform will produce good result. I said, well, talk is cheap anyway. But then look at those telling you to tighten your belt. Look at their lifestyle. God mentioned buying private jet. And I did ask you, borrowing is part of business owning. But what do you borrow to do? Right? That was question. I didn't answer this question. What do you borrow to do? And when you say when a father is asking his family, take it easy, bear with me, be patient. And the children are looking at the father, living flamboyantly,
chopping catfish.
Then they are in the house. So what we are saying, like you said, I want to create room from there to Calabar to Sokoto. The existing ones you have are not moderable. There are bandits everywhere. People are hungry. You see, you say don't worry, there will be food. Is it the food that we share at the National Stadium today? The other day it will be at the local government. The other day by politicians. Is it how we survive? We said this palliative we are talking about. It's not the way we want it. Let it be that everybody from Sokoto, Maiduguri, Kano, what have you, we enjoy it. Our leaders we have leaders who are senseless, with due respect. We have leaders who are after themselves, self-centered leaders. And that is why we are attacking you, not aggressively, by saying that, yes, it is good for us to take a decision. But then when you take a decision that strangulates your subject, it's not a good decision. But then at the end, I'm not saying that what is important is not, it is important for us to start badly and end well. But this one now start badly and is ending badly.
Okay, I have said previously on this program that the Nigerian state governance has been abandoned in Nigerian states. Now that does not sound like I'm pro-government. But however, I see that a lot of sentiments, we whip up a lot of sentiment and we undermine the accuracy of how government runs. We undermine correct information. We mix information here and there, add information, and we throw it up, mix it with sentiment, and then we misinform the public. Okay, fine. For a start, the Bureau I started before the program actually started was I said that the current reform is imperative. That without this reform, there is no way Nigeria will survive as a nation. We praise China today. Today, the of Africa live on China. But years back, China engaged the reform, okay, and the reform process took them 4 years of massive suffering of the people. But they pushed through. All right, today, where China we are today. Singapore went through the same for over 12 years. It was so hard, but they had a period that stayed over 20 years. Now, why I said, and I said the reform is important because this is just the only way out. It's the hard way, the only way. However, I said, I'm not too comfortable with the implementation. And this is for this simple reason. In China, the kind of democracy they had is not the type we're having. In Singapore, it's not the type we're having. In Singapore, the guy that led the reform stayed in power for 20 years. In Ghana, Rawlings stayed in power for 20 years, a military government for 12 years, then the government for 8 years. So he was able to see Ghana through the reform and then lead them through it. But in Nigeria, we have a democracy of 4 years, okay? Then reform is a process. Now, if you initiate reform and you're not going to stay in power for that long, you might not see it come to an end because when it's going to come in at it and then another thing comes up. So at the end of the day, it's nothing. So that is the angle I'm coming from to have said that the reform should not have been as sharp as it is in implementation. You know, it should have been, in bits. However, the reform is an imperative. But what's an implementation is a bit hard because of the kind of democracy we are having. However, a lot of misinformation has flied up even on this platform. You said the president bought Nyash. That is not true. It is the Navy, but it is called presidential. But it is not because it's called presidential. Everything is for the president. It is not. The president has nothing to do with it. Just like it is the Navy project. She's got that name that is confusing Nigerians, and people come on there and misinform Nigeria. It is not fair. Not just that. You talk about buying that has nothing to do with the president. The National Assembly has autonomy. They determine their budget. The president cannot influence that by law. But yet we blame on the president. That's misinformation. Okay? Once again, you say about the jets. Now, of course, I believe in prudence. That's where we are. That's what we should be doing. It doesn't make sense. You have the people to tighten their bed, and then you are bluffing. No, it doesn't make sense. But however, what happened was that the president traveled. When he got to where he got to, he had a mechanical problem with his plane. He could not use it back. They had to go for fixing and all of that. And it was discovered that the cost of maintenance will not be economical for the nation. So it's not even the best is to be away with it, get another one, which is not actually brand new. Get another one, and the president did that, and he's selling free the presidential fleet. He's selling free to make up for the new one he's buying. Nobody talks about that because the narrative should be that it's wasting money and all of that. General sentiment shows that no, we shouldn't buy one, but the thing is, there's a makeup here and there, okay?
But
and
the selling actually there's
a consortium handling that. Presidency is huge. It's not individual. You are micromanaging as a president. Even as a president, sometimes you don't have your way all the time. Because dealing with a nation, there's a way public finance is handled. It's even not as a person. Even if you don't want to sell the jet, the president will tell you, no, you can't, because your life as a president matters to the nation. If you're going to go with the president, there'll be instinct in the nation. And that will cost the nation so much in terms of foreign investment, in terms of security, a whole lot. So even as a president, you are imprisoned in the presidency to some extent. What you see in the public is not exactly how it works back there. They go back and forth. That the president cannot just say, this is what I want, and he gets it. No. Because even the president has done it.
Sorry, but let me say this.
I told you earlier that you were going to want to
I didn't take that back. That's an insult.
Sorry, I'm going to wrap up the program. I want to talk, please. I want to talk. Is it because my voice is very feminine? I've been calling things.
Okay.
Please, I want to ask him a question,
Okay,
and that's in response to what he said. He said that you talked about the presidency is not in charge of himself. He can't do anything. But
understand in context, please.
Okay. All right. Can you repeat
No, you
what
can put it in
No,
context.
no,
That's why I want to understand.
That as the president of the nation, yeah, you are managed by the presidency. There are things you want to do, you can't do. There are things you don't want to do, you have to do. Right? Because it's a system that manages you. As a president of the nation, you are representing the entire nation. So that means the fate of the nation is hanging on you. So that way, that certain decision you cannot make. Okay? Because there are some places you cannot go, because escorts have to go with you, or they tell you that it's not safe for you to go there. So you can't go there. So what I'm trying to say is this. So oftentimes, and of course, the details won't be out there. For example, this senator from Abia, former Abia governor, Ozo Okadu, came out on the TV station and said, don't time the president goes out in the evening in Abuja to look around what's happening. And that's, wait. That's a security need. That is security need. You don't do that. If the president does that undercover, it's not for you to come to here to say to speak. But that way, you've endangered the life of the president. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: is that as the president, even as powerful as U.S. president is, they are still managed. They can't do everything they want to do, and it's not everything they don't want to do. It falls that way because they are managed. It's an institution. When you sit on that seat as the president, you are not just you. You are managed. You managed. So that's the gospel truth. When the other left office, one of the things he said, apart from saying that Joe was part of his government, he said, I am out of prison. What do you think that means? Because there's a lot of forces at you. Do you understand? And then you are there.
Chris, don't just speak about Jonathan as someone
I'm talking about
who left the fisherman boat to the presidency. This is the guy that was the deputy governor, so you understand the protocol. He's a guy that was the governor. You understand the protocol. The protocol around the governor is not different from the protocol around the president.
It is a lot different.
So, wait, sir, please. Because you have to understand it is an executive power. In fact, there are some rigidity in government house, especially at the state, that is even more than the president. All right? If the president, you say, wait now. Wait, the international angle.
You can't leave it out. That's the problem. Wait, you can't leave it out.
A president
is too big to leave
out. Of Iran died in an helicopter. It wasn't because that helicopter was faulty. All right? It wasn't. Listen, you are a president. During the campaign, you go around. You say you will do this. You will call the governor. You will see this. You knew this is a man that was a governor of Lagos State, the most powerful state apart from Abuja in Nigeria, for 8 years. All right? For 8 years. Good years. So you understand the nuances and the protocol around executive powers. And he knows. So a presidency cannot force you to look bad before everybody. Listen, that's what they click. If you don't want to look bad, cannot force you to look bad. The idea of a presidential jet at that time was bad to anybody. Was bad. Listen,
are you considering details?
Wait.
Or does not matter?
Optics.
Details.
Wait. Listen.
Listen to you. If the president jet went bad, can you protect that?
The president has 3 jets. All of them did not go bad at the same time. All of them, 3 put on sale did not go bad at the same time, Chris. They were not. For someone who knows the situation in his country, for someone who has seen that everybody has also acknowledged that people are suffering due to the policy he has started. You said there are some countries in the world that they want to take out subsidy in some other things. Not even, what is it called? Turkey is still paying subsidy on bread. They are still paying subsidy on bread for the people. You are the United States still paying subsidy on egg. Egg. Go and fact check me. They are still paying subsidy on egg. Now, if you want to take that subsidy out, you could do it in a way that you know that there's going to be, your people are not going to go eating lizard and frog.
That's what I said.
Wait. That's what, at the end of the day, we are back to where we are.
So why attacking me?
I'm not attacking you. I'm telling you that what you say.
I sponsored the implementation. But the reform itself is an imperative. You have to
listen. Every government from Obasanjo in this fourth republic has always carried out reform on oil sector. Reform. Don't forget how much Bacha was selling a pump price. It was almost about, is it 4 naira per liter? 4 naira. In 1998. 4 naira. When Obasanjo took it from 4 naira to 12 naira, the Nigeria almost collapsed. The Nigeria state almost collapsed. He reversed it to 10. He moved it again. He left it at about 24. From 4 naira. So there have always been reform. This one is not just starting with this government. So people are making it look like this reform we're talking about is starting with the government. It's not. It's not. So
sorry, sir, to correct that, the reform we're talking about here is the regulation.
It's not the regulation we're talking about. Listen. I was going to free up everything when we went drum rolling when the government of Buhari passed and sure they passed that. You understand? Because that's why I say you say presidency does not have it cannot hold the hand of the National Assembly. When the National Assembly is at the beck of call of president, whatever the president said, they will approve it. But whatever the president does not want to be approved. Wait, now this is the country now. If the president use a piece of paper and write, we want to collect a loan tomorrow, it will be approved today. It will be
that is on their relationship.
Listen, that's what I'm telling you. A president can create a National Assembly and say, listen, this thing this is our government. He put the heads, all the heads of the two houses. He orchestrated it. It's his own people. Those are the people he endorsed to put there. Fabio and the other guy in the House of Rep. He put them there. So you have his ears and his nose and everything that he wants to say. So the president can tell them, this thing is bad for the optics, it's bad for the country, don't do it. If you do it, there will be a huge outcry. The president can say that. But the president that says that, nothing concern him. But because whenever he sends his own loan, they will collect, they will pay. Are you aware that this current administration in just about a year and 4 months has borrowed close to about 100 billion naira over from local and foreign, borrowed, and there is another one coming. Listen, I'm telling you. No, we are not. It's here.
But sorry,
it's here, sir.
So sorry, sir. What you said about the relationship between the president and National Assembly. So what makes you think they don't have a discussion behind the scene? But what I'm saying here
because those discussions are not coming to fruition.
What I'm saying here is this. What now is that what is the law saying? The law is saying the National Assembly has autonomy. Some cases they can call the bluff of the president and then they're breaking the law. It's possible.
We have not seen that.
No, not to with this president.
You are not privy.
Excuse me. I can give you an example.
You are running on sentiment.
I'm not in sentiment.
You are not privy to their meeting behind the scene. Okay. You don't know what they discuss behind the scene. And don't know the
neither you.
Well, fine.
Neither you.
You don't know. Now, listen. In National Assembly, what they call the Speaker of the Senate, the State President, they call them just they are equals. So they are equals basically. Because now the thing is, if a party as a president, he says let's go in direction A, and his other members say no, it can't impose anything. So if the president is talking to them, let's go this way, and the president says no, it can't impose anything.
English.
You are assuming too much.
I am not. Okay, I can tell you for a fact that the National Assembly that was listen, sir, I am not. The National Assembly was not in bed with the presidency. That's Saraki. You knew what happened. You know everything that happened. Listen.
I know that cost the nation.
What? It didn't cost anything. It was the real. Listen. It was the actual way of checkmating. See, listen.
Holding that budget for 6 months or 3 consecutive years was actual way of checkmating that was the economy.
Or the holding which
the National Assembly held the budget for 6 months for 3 years consecutively.
Why was that?
How would the nation have survived that?
Why was that?
The same
why should the budget?
Listen, why would the every airport could not be done until that? Why they were slashing budget?
Listen,
and it took rise in it because there was a video.
That's a good
see.
No,
to amputate it. It was in the public, and it probably
what they made it to know.
No,
please. What I said now, I say that what you are saying is in order in a decent society, not in Nigeria. We are talking about National Assembly. Which National Assembly? This one that are rubber stamp that says everything that comes from the president will approve it.
Okay, since this one has not earned any budget, what are the development?
One of the key men for Mr. was El-Rufai. It wanted El-Rufai so badly. But this is National Assembly.
That's why I say you don't know what happened. You don't know what happened.
So you said if I agree to have a good working relationship,
if Mr. President wanted El-Rufai, what is the relationship now? How many times has he visited? If the National Assembly was the one that did not want El-Rufai, how is El-Rufai not visiting Aso Rock every time that he needs?
Fine.
These are the things I keep telling
you. What are the allegations against El-Rufai? The allegations against El-Rufai boil down to security issue and all of that. And as the president,
for somebody who just
excuse me,
for somebody who has been
no, the problem was inside himself and the character that is put on the lives. Now,
the president not stand himself from a man that is the one buying card.
All right. At this point, if you can hear me, please let's go for a short break so that when we come back, we'll start talking like properly right now. Oh Lord, so fast. Okay, anyways, we're back. So I'm just gonna take 20 videos because we can't take any topic. If we take any topic in just 30 minutes, I'm not certain we finish.
No, finish it. At least one.
Okay, one topic. Okay, fine, that's good. Okay, let's talk about all right, let's talk about the okay. Ipman Dangote reach agreement to leave PMS, and of course diesel. About that, so I'm just going to read a short one on that one, so we can just react before going for our videos. The Indian Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria (IPMAN) has secured an act with Dangote Refinery to lift products directly. IPMAN National President Abubakar Garima announced in Abuja yesterday after a meeting of the National Committee of the Association. He said that the partnership will ensure steady and affordable supply of PMS products nationwide. Garima said after meeting Liko Dangote and his management team in Lagos, he said that they are pleased to announce that Dangote Refinery has supplied them, that is IPMAN, with PMS, AGO, and DP directly for distribution to all depot and retail outlets. He also urged IPMAN members to support Dangote Refinery, citing backward integration benefits, positive impact on Nigerians' foreign exchange market. Regarding pricing, there's confidence that negotiations with Dangote would yield lower rates on compressed and natural gas. The IPMAN president said that the association is preparing for a seamless transition to CNG refill stations nationwide, as it is currently negotiating with the president's CNG initiative. And the ship is expected to increase efficiency, affordability, and economic growth for Nigerian petroleum industry. To wrap it up, at the meeting, the Dangote Refinery pledged to commence supply of products to over 30,000 IPMAN members and 150,000 retail outlets nationwide. Of course, he said this move is expected to eliminate middlemen, reduce costs, and ensure steady supply. All right, I'm going to say, well, like we all say, whenever we hear things like this, we say it's good news. But the problem is, with all the things they're saying, they're trying to enhance and reduce. Will it eventually be like that?
You see, I see all of these things is as a result of inefficiency and ineffectiveness of governance. All right. Now, this is a country when Dangote wanted to commission incomplete refinery. Buhari wanted to take credit and went there and own up that his administration has given something to Nigeria. That's from the private sector. That by the time Dangote fuel comes, Nigeria will buy fuel at a cheaper rate. The same thing happened. But when it was time for the fuel to be pumped out of the pump, they now change the narrative. It's not as if it's going to be cheap. That's because Dangote is refining in Nigeria, don't make it cheap. They started using international angle to it. All right? Today, we are not hearing anything from the presidency on crude on Naira to Dangote. Nobody's talking about it. This is the same country, an agency of government, owned by government, and the president is the petroleum minister who's supposed to sit above all of this and report to the president if the petroleum minister was an appointed person. Up to today, NNPC until yesterday kept importing fuel. One of the benefits of this Dangote refinery was that it's going to save us a whole lot of forex exchange. And it's going to make our Naira stronger. For the government is to make Naira stronger. This morning I read in the paper that the projected Naira to a dollar is 1,983 Naira.
Wow.
In the paper this morning, pick it, in national, all over, projected before December. That is the real value of Naira. We don't even talk about pounds because pounds is eating going to 3,000 naira per. So at the end of the day, you are allowed the private sector, somebody that borrowed money from foreign government to build this thing to suffer those kind of things. And what is NNPC and all of this? Now, NNPC, that the middleman now was the NNPC. So they have removed NNPC. So is NNPC going to get his own? Is this going to, as at yesterday when they're having this meeting in Abuja, on a radio station, Nigeria Info, a guy who is the secretary in Port Harcourt was giving a different narrative that Ipman has prepared to go and import a cheaper fuel. On a radio yesterday, I was listening to it. That is a secretary of Ipman in Rivers State. That Ipman, it was a live interview, that Ipman members import a cheaper fuel abroad. And I asked myself, so why is fuel, since you've been importing it, why has it not been cheap since? Why was it not cheap? So at what point is it going to be cheap? What are we actually cheap in actual sense? So at the end of the day, you find out that it is the lack of direction from the government. That's why you see all of these things happening. Because we cannot be promised something else, and be given another. In just 1 year and 8 months, fuel has from 280 naira to 1,000, over 1,000. Because this, I want to calculate for you. On Saturday, I was going to the island. I bought 30,000 naira. Yesterday, I was going to the island again. I bought 20,000 naira. This morning, I bought 20,000. That's 70,000 naira. In Saturday to today, I'm not joking. And the fuel they are selling, the moment they put it and you press your accelerator, 1 liter is gone.
Wow.
It's so light. I'm telling you, 70,000 naira from Saturday to Tuesday. Just by going to island and come back.
That's adulterated.
So at the end of the day, if I was going to pick goods, how are you expecting me not to increase my goods based on the transportation I have incurred? Expenses I have incurred. So at the end of the day, you find out that the government has left us to the private sector to kick as they like because of the so-called reform. It will be better. And I want to anybody, instead of a naira to cross to pass in this country, to pass another to dollar to pass 800 naira. And tell me where it's going to. The drugs. People who are diabetic are dying every day because they cannot afford to buy the drugs. Okay. Because of just one single policy of government. That's floating of the naira. We should have done it in a way you know that you're not producing anything. When China, you mentioned China, when China were doing their reform, they were plugging, building, giving money to people, building industries, to the exporting. Most of the contractors doing our road are Chinese contractors. Do we have that today? Are we plugging back and creating jobs, helping Nigerians to build industries? Are we doing that?
All right, let's hear from Mazi. Mazi, what's your take on all this?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's only in Nigeria that prices of items do not belong to gravity. That is whatever goes must come out. It's also in Nigeria we have strong men instead of strong institutions. Why is it that the totality of people in Nigeria are dependent on one person? You mentioned that with cement, you mentioned that with sugar, you mentioned this. Why is it that the government have left the masses at the mercy of one particular person? Well, I said it like he said, the policy is good, but implementation. They said availability and cheaper. Is going to. Are we going to see it here? Chief said the naira is predicted to be 1,900 from now to December. The fuel price is going to be between 1,500 and 2,000 before December. I read somewhere. There has been front and back policies, some assortment of policies. But the issue is it. Why is it that our own refineries are not working? Kaduna is not working. Port Harcourt is not working. What is not working? And these are the promises made to us right from the time of Buhari to now. I am sorry to use this language. With due respect, it's not going to be harmful. Our president may have thought well for us, but it's unfortunate that they just decided to package a live snake into his hand. A live snake into his hand. Let me ask this question. why is it that the same Dangote refinery, they were complaining that it's going to produce a very bad adulterated fuel, the same one they are now celebrating? The Dangote about a few weeks ago was begging them to come that why are they importing fuel? Why he has about 500 million of whatever to come? That when his own comes, it's going to be. I think they are playing on our intelligence because that's not what we can do. That is why we are not celebrating. I'm not celebrating.
But really, is there nothing we can do?
That's what we can do because we are their mercy. Because until we get it right, by the way we select or we elect our leaders, those who have the interest of. Last week, I think there was protest at Abakari should go.
Yeah.
But it has not lived because nobody is to force. I want to assure you that if this present administration were to be in opposition, something different would happen. But then there's nothing we can do. You can't govern a nation with propaganda and lies. You cannot tell us the same people, the same Dangote fuel that you said yesterday, the same Dangote fuel you say now is going to be cheaper, it's going to be good. God mentioned from Sunday till now, you have spent 70,000. And make sure, God, how much are you paying guys? 70,000. How much is a bag of rice? 100,000. So it's unfortunate that we have found ourselves in a tight corner that we are left at the mercy of God, and in this case, at the mercy of our leaders. Dangote, why must it be Dangote alone? Why must it be like the whole Nigeria depends on Dangote refinery to prove? Talk about, Buhari, try hurriedly commission an uncompleted refinery. What about the second Niger bridge? Before he left, and he went and commissioned it. As he left, the same thing. So our people like to take the light on what something that does not even exist. So to me, personally, I don't see anything. I don't see anything to jubilate about. I don't see anything to rejoice about. Because if you had told me yesterday that Chris is bad, and you made everybody to believe that Chris is bad, you made everybody to believe, to condemn Chris, and you come back when you say that this man is a thief when the market is going. You now come to tell us that it's not a thief when the market has gone.
Maybe are you
going to bring those that are gone to tell them?
Tell them back.
You see, we are in a situation that our leaders are not helping us. And Dangote, I think all this abracadabra, they are playing with us. I think we have had enough. We are not interested.
Okay, my only worry is if they are going to be getting fuel, like you said, from the radio station, getting fuel at a discounted price. My first question is, like he said, buying fuel should turn the ignition of your car. It reduces by 1 liter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So once it's adulterated fuel, when you get something cheap, are you sure it's even good enough? That's my point.
Okay,
if that information was true.
They're not angry to it. For a start, I have long left the politics of sentiments or emotions because it does not produce results. You just shout, you cry, you do all of that. It does not change anything in reality. So I've decided to focus more on faculty. Now, for a start, we have 4 refineries. None of these 4 refineries has produced 28 years. Manzi mentioned why we have like government style. For 28 years, our refineries have not refined oil. The first time oil was refined in Nigeria is with Dangote that happened this year. So, how did that happen? Another question you ask yourself is this. For 35 years, no government in Africa has built refinery. Why? Yet, Africa's nations have oil. Now, we're not building refineries. So, there's a whole lot that plays around it. A whole lot that are not probably open to the people's streets. So, we speak from that angle without having an area view of the entire happening. So why are governments, the refinery broke down for lack of crude to refine? It was actually built to refine crude. They were starved of it, and that led to its breakdown. So that's that question. That's one. Now, when the Buhari government came on board, and it saw that it's difficult to make Nigeria refinery work, I want to think outside of the box by collaborating with the Nigeria Republic to build one there, where the Nigerian sentiment and structure will not have much influence on. Okay, whatever is keeping our refinery from working, program will not extend there. We took it away. and we shut it down. We shut it down. Fine. Now, when Dangote came on board, the very government put in so much support, saying that, okay, fine, it's going to be own refinery. So the Nigerian thing will not influence. Whenever they stop Nigerian refinery from working for 28 years, will not have effect on Dangote refinery. So they gave it all of the support they could to it. CBN was coming, they even did the discounted dollar for Dangote, and all of that, they pumped in a lot of support for Dangote. That's why the government was trying to do a whole lot, commissioning to see that this stand. So when that government is coming, will not, abort the land, but that's aligning with whatever structure that does not make refinery work in Nigeria. So the black government did everything to push Dangote out for it to work. That was a good gesture. But of course, we bring policy everything and we still try to run it down. Now, take it going further. Anyway, I read somewhere today, PCL are saying that they also report from Dangote and then an importation will end. That is the intention. We started that intention of trying to stop fuel importation, and we're going to continue that way. And now here now, and then we are seeing that coming to light. Now, the Naira to the selling to the Dangote Naira is a massive game changer. Massive game changer, because it makes our foreign dollar for the nation in the first place is this crude import. It takes 60% of it. So if we're able to end fuel importation, weight on that will drop. But you see, it is not going to drop overnight. It's a process. So if you stop importing for like small thereabout now, you will see how dollar will crash. Because 60% of our dollar demand is on oil importation. So once that is off the way, it will crash. But it's going to crash time. Over time, it's going to be a switch. It will never be a switch. So we need to appreciate that and then be patient to wait for that to happen. So that's important for us to understand. Now, my personal take on fuel subsidy policy. I advocate that own personal videos are very, very large on Twitter. I've been driving that. Look, I do not agree with the deregulation of PMS because the Nigerian economy revolves around PMS. It's a whole lot we spend to buy fuel. You understand? I do agree with that implementation. That there's a way government can still fund subsidy without killing the nation. For example, we have billions of stolen Nigerian money in the private individuals. We can get them out. If the political will is strong enough, the government can call National Assembly and the judiciary together and formulate a medium of how to get this money from private pocket. We know who these individuals are. We can go for them and then we can actually get the money in record time. So I believe government can rise to fund for subsidies so Nigerians can breathe. I don't believe that. That's why I advocate. That's why I've done videos to that effect. I tweet on that on Twitter. That's why I believe. But however, I recognize that Nigeria cannot continue to pay subsidy on this present financial situation. We just cannot survive. I mean, Jonathan government was borrowing to pay subsidy, and this subsidy was going to few individuals. We can't continue that recklessness. Do you understand? It is important that we end the fuel subsidy. But how? It was what I questioned. But what I'm trying to say, so the issue of subsidy whatever is not is an imperative that we do that. But like I said earlier, it is the how. But however, we are here now. The good thing that's happening now, we just hope to hold the table and still drive them. The NMC is coming with the energy that fuel importation will come to an end. That is the report I got. I don't know where this got is from, but that was the report I got.
The report out, NNPC has actually to stop importation.
That's a good
and patronize that way, and Ipman also
to talk is implementation. The Abakari said one of the reasons why they stopped the
I will start with that
is that somebody will buy a truck of PMS at the rate of 600 something, and he now border and makes 17 million. Then my question is, where are the customs?
Hello.
Why is it that Chris, sorry sir, I listened to a documentary where they said it is difficult for you to check our borders, Kano, Maiduguri, Kasi. I've said it time and again here because these are the areas you cannot check.
I really wish I could play a video on where an investigative journalist, Soyobo, actually, talked about some where they were importing. Were importing in rice.
Listen,
I don't know if you saw the video.
Listen, please.
Let's hear from.
Like I said, all of this we will start an environment. Right? You pay subsidy. You have your friends. The people that are getting this money are not enemies of government. Government friends, they are the one who fund campaign. All right? Good Lord Jonathan, during his time, I'm going to give you a statistic here by Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. In May 2023, it is estimated that Nigeria consumes 69.54 million liters per day of petroleum, of PMS.
PMS.
Oh, Jesus. Then, in June, see coming down. In June 2023, the number comes down to 49.48 million liters per day. In July 2023, it comes down to 45.7 million liters per day. Today, as at August, it is estimated since the removal of the first subsidy, Nigeria today is expected to consume 4.5 million liters per day. How did it come down? So, if government decided to do their work, Nigeria can actually pay 4.5 million liters per day in terms of subsidy, and they will not break a bank. They will not break listen, sir. You cannot listen, Nigeria is not broke. If Nigeria is broke as a nation, our leaders cannot live the life they are living.
That is indiscipline.
That's what I'm saying.
That is indiscipline of government. But as a nation,
I don't have access to the coffers. So if I'm a poor man, I cannot feed my family. I cannot be sleeping in a 5-star hotel. I cannot be caught to be dining in a fancy restaurant. Do you understand? So whoever that comes to see me there, and I will now come back to you and say, I beg, man, I was not eating in one day. I beg, since morning. Will you borrow me money? So please, which is what you see. It is not what you know. I know you don't have access to the coffers. You don't know how much naira comes in. Hello, they said that they have actually augmented our revenue in Nigeria too. That the government is bragging about it. That they have augmented our revenue in terms of the large number compared to what used to happen. All right. So at the end of the day, you cannot call yourself a dumb and a deaf and dumb, yet your voice is so loud. It cannot be. So that is an irony. So what I'm saying is that at this level, if we still not is taking PMS across the border anymore. Abi, during Jonathan, what did they used to do? They have alliances in the agency, in the NNPC. Somebody will import, for instance, 20 liters and write he has imported 40 liters. Now, the government will now subsidy on the thing didn't import at all.
Yeah.
The government can stop it because that's why it's the government. When you said Buhari was saying what happened in Nigeria, that's an indictment. The same body that was brought in to stop corruption, he's saying he fought flat on his face that we want to go and build whatever in Niger. I could not support that. That was an embarrassment.
Want to go and build
Let me finish. Just give me a few seconds to end.
Okay. We have 1 minute to finish.
A child who openly eulogized the food of another mother and called his mother is a bad child.
Okay, fine. Now let us come to reality. There is nothing that government can do. Now, I'm coming. In terms of what is happening, Nigeria has spent over $10 billion in maintenance and turnaround maintenance of our refinery, but still not working.
People should be put in jail.
I'm coming, but why is it not happening?
People should be called in jail
because there are powers behind this thing that is holding down the federal government for 28 years, almost 30 years. Our refinery is not producing anything. They say so much. Now the government now came up and said, look, what is result? We can't do anything with this on ground now. I'm coming, sir. So they said, let us use on make it work. There are two options: the Nigerian refinery and Dangote refinery. Now, what I'm going to say here is this. Now, I said I support subsidy payment, right? But I also know by factual objectivity.
I'm sorry. We are trying to show me that we're going to wrap up the show. Apologies. This is very interesting. Hopefully, I wish we could continue tomorrow, but it's not possible. Thank you, Chief Godi. Thank you, Mati. Thank you, Chris, for coming on the show. Thank you, my viewers, for what. Okay, Nigeria is going to be great. That I hope and I pray for. My name is Rose Blossom. Enjoy the rest of your day.